Welcome back, Children of the Night, to another episode of the Infernal Archive. On this episode, we'll be watching Victor Crowley from 2017, the fourth film in the Hatchet franchise. I've never actually seen any of the other Hatchet movies, so we're jumping into the deep end here, kind of going straight to Age of Extinction, to use Transformers language that Dallas Kirkpatrick would understand. You ever seen any of the Hatchet movies?
No. I know absolutely nothing about them. I'm
know-
assuming that they have something to do with a hatchet.
Yeah, that works. It's like a modern. I know it's like a modern slasher franchise, and it's like relatively well regarded. I know. Little VFS call out here. At VFS, they had. I don't know if like somebody obviously on the production team went to the school. I'm not sure who, but they had like big sign posters at VFS, which was kind of cool.
When I think of the hatchet, I think of the Canadian classic novel.
Hatchet?
Hatchet.
I don't think I've read that either. Is that good?
It's one about the teen who goes down in a plane and has to survive. No?
No idea.
Oh, I thought
It's like fictional?
Fictional, yeah.
What does he uses a hatchet, obviously.
He has like the one thing that he has, the main piece of equipment he has is a hatchet from this that his mom gave him or something. Yeah, it's like a float plane. He's going. I can't remember all the 100% the context, but it's a survival story about a teen that.
I'm assuming this film franchise has nothing to do with the Canadian novel. Like, there's no
probably,
death.
Probably.
Does the kid die?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Join us next time on the Infernal Book Club.
Shall I read the
Yes,
scroll?
please. Could you read for us from the scroll of Indeptitude?
Mr. Crowley, what went on in your head? Oh, Mr. Crowley, did you talk to the dead? Your lifestyle to me seems so tragic, with the thrill of it all. You fooled all the people with magic. Yeah, you waited on Satan's call. Mr. Charming, did you think you were pure? Mr. Alarming and nocturnal rapport, uncovering things that were sacred, manifest on this earth. Oh, conceived in the eye of a secret. Yeah, and they scattered the afterbirth. It appears the scroll has made some type of error. Let me
Quite Shakespearean.
just see the scroll.
I'm hearing from our production team that it's the lyrics to the song Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne.
Ah, yes. Well, the scroll giveth and the scroll taketh away.
We have very little control over the contents of the scroll.
Very little control. Almost no control.
Almost no control, one might say, yeah.
Victor Crowley, also known as Hatchet 4, is a 2017 American supernatural slasher film written and directed by Adam Green. It's a sequel to Hatchet 3 and serves as the fourth installment in the Hatchet film series. Kane Hodder returns to the role of the titular killer, Victor Crowley. Critical reaction for the film was generally mixed.
Now, I know that name. He played Jason Voorhees in some of the Friday the 13th films. And I think he actually did. You ever play the Friday the 13th, like the video game that they released a little while ago?
No.
It's kind of, I think it was like a Dead by Daylight deal. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
there's a few of those after Dead by Daylight got super popular.
Yeah.
There's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Evil
and
Dead.
There's the Evil Dead. The Evil Dead one.
You played that one?
No, but we should make a side note to check that
Play that
out.
one sometime.
Yeah.
But I know that the guy that's Kane Hodder's his name, right?
Yes.
He did all the like the mocap stuff for the Friday the 13th game. Like, he came back and they got him back in there. Another interesting tidbit about this film. So the director Adam Green, is that what his name is? So I think he's the creator of the whole franchise. And initially, like, they did the 3 Hatchet movies, and then he was like, "Don't want to do any more. That's the end of the Hatchet franchise. We're never doing another one." And our friend and God amongst men in terms of filmmaking, George A. Romero, convinced him to do a 4th Hatchet movie. So old Mr. Romero's coming back from the grave to show us
Hell yeah.
what Adam Green's got.
I personally am a big Romero fan, so
Oh, yeah.
if he thought that this was worth another film, I'm curious.
Yeah,
to say the least.
Hatchet 4. We'll see. Maybe it'll be really good, and we'll be like, "Oh, we've been sleeping on these fucking Hatchet movies," but maybe not. Thank you so much for tuning in, Children of the Night. We're gonna go watch Victor Crowley from 2017, and then we'll give you our thoughts after we return.
It's alive. Watching. Waiting.
Welcome, Children of the Night, back to the Infernal Archive. We just finished watching Victor Crowley from 2017. dynamite. Fucking dynamite.
What a breath of fresh air after our previous, I wanted to say stinker, but it's way more egregious.
Piece of fucking shit. Bullshit. Garbage. Fucking worthless. Find the people who were involved in the production and bring them to me. Bring them before me.
Bring them to our lair.
So I may cast judgment upon them for whatever the roles were, especially the fucking director. That guy, bring that guy before me, because I'm convinced he has never made a film in his life. We're not going to talk about Downrange today. Today we're talking about Victor Crowley. Yes, Victor Crowley was really, really good. It's the 4th Hatchet film, we said, I think.
4th, yep.
And wasn't confusing at all. Like, they do all the work to, like, establish the lore. And it's not complicated lore. It's, like, basic fucking Friday the 13th type shit. There's some voodoo curse, and there's a ghost in a swamp that kills guys. They do all that work. You don't need to have seen the other 3 movies at all. I wasn't confused or lost, whatever. I'll say that, like, it's not really a criticism. It's just like this is like the Infernal Archive is kind of more like a horror-based show, and I kind of like the purpose of the show, I guess, to a degree in terms of its philosophy is to find some of those like hidden horror gems that are truly scary and whatever.
Scary and truly in that smack dab in the middle of that horror genre.
Yeah, and this movie I would really struggle to classify it as horror. It's very funny. It like the script is actually banger. It is funnier than I feel like 50% of the comedies I've seen in the last 4 years.
I think a good way to describe it is like it's a horror movie for people who like slasher movie. A comedy movie for people who like the horror genre.
Yeah.
Who are into the horror genre, because it almost borders on slasher parody, given some of a lot of the jokes are at the expense of like, haha, you know what's supposed to happen in a slasher movie, and we're gonna do this thing or make this commentary.
Yeah, the slasher fan is an interesting sub fan in the horror genre, because it's like there are good slasher films that do have genuine like chills and scares, and like we were talking before, like the first Friday the 13th movie I think is like a genuinely good film. The first Nightmare on Elm Street is like a good movie. Halloween 1 and 2 are good movies, and a lot of those Halloween movies are actually like pretty freaky and like are well shot as like traditional horror films. But like going back to this film is way more Friday the 13th than it is any of those other ones, and a lot of the Friday the 13th movies are not, in no way, shape, or form are they trying to scare you or trying to chill you. They're just trying to be like, look, Jason shot somebody with a spear gun. Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? And this Victor Crowley film, and like whereas like those Friday the 13th movies, they usually aren't funny though. Like they don't have a lot of good writing. They don't have a lot of like jokes, like whatever.
Maybe some cheesy one-liners.
Yeah.
Like, ha.
And it's like, so basically all you're there to see is like, I want to see Jason kill somebody creatively, and some of them even fail at that. This movie does all the stuff you'd want to see from a cheesy slasher movie very well. Like, it has creative kills. It has a really funny script. It has like pretty engaging characters. Like the one thing we said right away, right at the end, because it ends in a really good, funny way, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like, here's my runtime. Let's get some creative kills done, whatever.
Literally, as I was like, oh man, there's gonna be a whole thing at the end here now where it's like, how are they gonna end it? And it just cut. I'm like, oh
yeah,
excellent.
Yeah,
I think that's one thing that's so overlooked, especially with modern content now, and more so in the television or like streaming, like serialized world, is like when something ends really well, it is just it elevates the whole the whole project, regardless of what it is.
Big time. I like, this isn't a horror project, but they just released they're releasing the second season of Arcane now, and if you haven't seen Arcane, fucking watch Arcane, because it is one of the best animated shows ever made. But they said, they're like, it's a crazy expensive show. It's like the season 2, I think they said, cost $250 million to make, just a ridiculous amount of money. And but they said, they're like, we're doing 2 seasons. That's it. Like, we're in and out. We're not doing a 3rd season. Doesn't matter how successful or critically hailed this is. Like, we planned it as this 2-season story arc.
The BBC method, where it's like, you give them, there's something to be said for when you greenlight a show, knowing exactly we have X number of hours to tell our story, and that's it. And you can actually write a proper story that in the confines of that time, right? So there's just no question that when you're having to go season by season or whatever, you kind of have to scramble because you don't know if you're so.
And like the miniseries format lends itself to like Jurassic Park, good example. Like it's a franchise of films, but it is very easy for me to ignore the last two, and I can be like, you know what, 3 and Jurassic World, those are good movies. I enjoy them, and I can still enjoy them without thinking about the fact that 5 and 6 exist. And the miniseries form, whereas like with a television show, if you have this story that continues and there's never a break and it doesn't feel like there's a definitive beginning and an end to an arc or whatever, you keep, it's like Game of Thrones. You get to the end, and then if the end doesn't hit the way you wanted it to hit, then it's like now you have tainted the entire
whole thing to a degree.
Vision of this canvas. Whereas like you look at a show like Sherlock, which has good seasons and has bad seasons, but it's like because the seasons are so isolated to themselves and they tell a complete story beginning to end, you can be like, I like season 1 of Sherlock, I didn't like season 2, but it doesn't affect the quality of season 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it is the type of thing, and I've said this about video games as well. It's like some of my favorite, the best video games I've played in the last like 10 years have also been of the horror genre, but they've been ones that have they've had a length. It's like, we don't need this game to be fucking 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 hours long. It's like, I can do, like Resident Evil 2 Remake. I'm playing Signalis again, which is also a phenomenal horror game, if you like that type of thing. But it's like, it's a short experience. You can play it in 3 or 4 sittings. It's fantastic. Portal's a great example of this. Portal 2 is a great example of this. Like, lean in, like, you don't extend the length arbitrarily just because you feel like you have a runtime you need to hit. And it's like, my movie's gonna be better if it's 2.5 hours long. It won't be. Make a 90-minute movie that's fucking super effective.
Hell, even make a short film that is hyper effective. If that's what you've got, if that's like the strongest pieces of content you've got are 10, 20 minutes, do that. Make that thing, and rather than trying to stretch it out over a feature runtime.
It sucks how much, we're not talking about Victor Crowley, but it's like, this is an interesting topic, I think, but it's like, it does suck how much we have these like big, really talented filmmakers in the industry, and you don't see short films from these people. Like you never see, whatever, pick your favorite filmmaker, do a short film. And it's kind of nice now that we live in this era of streaming and we live in the era of like anthology shows.
I was just gonna say,
like fucking Love, Death, and Robots, and you have a guy like fucking David Fincher doing a short, his own short in that franchise. Like, yes, this is what I want to see. I want to see these guys do these hyper effective short form storytelling, because it's like they can do more content, and it's like I want to see more shit from these guys.
Yeah, I would love to see more shows in the vein of Black Mirror, even where it's like one overarching theme of dark consequences of future technology, and then just giving the reins to different storytellers and people to like do an episode, whether it's short form or like, and Black Mirror is like, they're basically mini movies, they're an hour long, but yeah, I think it's
with limited budgets,
limited budgets,
limited runtimes, like whatever, like trying to utilize, be more creative with what you have rather than like let's go for the most bloated budget, bloated runtime, bloated everything, and it's like why is this always a thing? Like, and I like that it's becoming more not pristine, like you have filmmakers who are incredibly well thought of, like David Fincher or like Guillermo del Toro, who are doing these shorter form content. So now filmmakers are like, oh, it's not a failure to like delve into that territory. Like me making a short film doesn't reflect poorly upon me as a professional.
And I think more than anything, there's like you said, there are platforms where this type of content is consumed, whereas like 10, 15 years ago, you make a short film,
you do put it on
like
YouTube.
put it on YouTube. It's like, yeah, cool. People might see it, but even on YouTube, people aren't going to YouTube usually to consume short films.
No.
They might watch your short film on YouTube because they heard about your short film somewhere else, but people on YouTube are here to watch things like movie reviews and guys in robes talk about crazy horror movies.
Ghost shows. Paranormal investigation shows.
Yeah, those too.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I was gonna say, bringing it back to Victor Crowley, I think that's the strongest point I could like highlight on the movie is they right from the beginning knew what it was, knew what they wanted to do. Yeah. Kind of knew what their clearly had a strong vision, knew what their parameters were of their budget and the runtime and the genre, and just kind of like just ticked off all the boxes. Just strong utilization of what they had in front of them, kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. I'll say there's this one funny thing I noticed. This film shares a lot of narrative beats with the movie Jurassic Park 3 to bring it back to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like there are like jokes and scenes it's weird. It's not pervasive, but it's like there's enough that I'm like, did they watch Jurassic Park 3? Did the guy like watch Jurassic Park 3 right before he wrote this, and then he just so happened to like put this stuff in there? It was. I mean, the odd similarity.
Victor, the creature guy, whatever the fuck he was, he sounded like a dinosaur, or like an animal or something,
like a mutant bear.
Yeah, mutant bear. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
he had.
What the fuck was that?
Very interesting. Yeah, his design, his whole thing. It's nothing about the killer is particularly interesting. I'll say, like but he feels like the most standard, but in a good way. It's like he needs to be like the most
just
standard
generic, just a generic like. He's not just a guy in a mask.
Yeah.
He's a weird, fucked up.
He looks like Jason without the mask, but if he fucking hit the gym and also his head
got fucking
swole,
yoked.
like kind of swole a bit.
Like if Jason in Wrong Turn.
Yeah, or
Hillbilly
Hills of Eyes.
Hills of Eyes.
I was thinking that too. He looked very Hills of Eyesy. Yeah, I don't know. I've spoken about this before, but it's like sometimes I get frustrated with like the aesthetic of scary without the actual scary. And I think it's when it's like there's no other redeeming quality that a thing tries to present. It's like we have this look of scary, but we're not trying to be scary. But then it's also not funny, and it has nothing else going for it. It's like what is the purpose of just being aesthetically scary when you're not scary?
Other than like flexing your production design muscle, which is like,
just like I like Halloween. It's like great. There are people who like Halloween for the sake of Halloween. That's fine. I'm not. For me, it's not for me. But this film, however, because it's so funny and because it's such a faithful, it feels like such a natural continuation of where Friday the 13th could have went had it figured itself out. Had it been like, people are not coming to see these fucking movies to get scared. They're coming to see these movies to see creative kills, and like if there's some witty one-liners, like let's lean into that stuff. Let's lean into what's fun about this this subgenre, and then let's maximize it. And that's what Victor Crowley did. So it's like, if you are a fan of, and like I'll say this, and not in a disparaging way, in a this is for these people. If you like that aesthetic of Halloween, you don't want to see something that's gonna like haunt your nightmares, but you want to see something that's like got a killer in it and it's funny or whatever, this movie is fucking for you. This is that great, you could throw this on Halloween and you won't have nightmares right away.
This would be a great movie, like you have people over around Halloween or just like to have a scary movie night. It'd be a great movie to throw on either right after you watch something genuinely scary as like a way to kind of like palate cleanser, decompress, or if you're just like you want something to throw on to just kind of have in the background while you have people over. Great movie, because you don't really need to pay attention to kind of catch the beats, and you're gonna catch a funny line here and there, and see a fun kill here and there, and some gore.
They're mostly in the fuselage of a plane for like over half of the movie. There's not a ton of moving around in this movie, but it's like I said, it doesn't overstay its welcome, so it doesn't become like a frustrating thing.
What's the Rotten Tomato score on this guy? Because I know it's had mixed critical reviews, which I can definitely see why there would be split perspectives
opinions
on this. Yeah.
Excuse my small computer here. Victor Crowley, R Tomatoes. I wish there was just the first thing that popped up all the time. Okay, Victor Crowley, Rotten Tomatoes. Here we go. It currently sits at a 67% critical score and a 60% audience score. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it deserves more than that.
Yeah, I would probably put it personally at like a 75 or an 85 even.
Man, yeah, me too. I for what this movie wants to be, I don't know how it could be much better.
What could they have done better? Really?
Yeah, like that's the thing. If you're taking into account what the film is going for, it's a fucking 9 out of 10 to me. Like, I mean, maybe it could have been like you could have added more jokes. Maybe there could have been like a couple more creative kills. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe extended that a bit. But it's like,
that's true. And like even budget wise, like part of the charm of it, I think, is that the budget is.
It looks like it's a porno.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like the lighting, like you know what I'm talking about when I say this. But the lighting looks like it's a porn shoot. Like that, it's that weird soft.
Yeah.
Like.
Don't tell them you were at a bar. But what else is open at night? It's a pornography store. I was buying pornography. I would have never thought of that.
It's the one thing where it's like, maybe I would love to see this film, like take the script, because the script is like undeniably strong, I think. Take the script and have it like give it some money. Like I'd love to see this filmmaker and this writing team what they would do if they had a little bit more money and a little more refined cinematography
and maybe like the cast was incredible, but like maybe you get some like a big name or something. Like,
I'll say
like I don't know.
Some of the cast was really good. The main guy felt like he was there because he was the survivor of one of the movies. It's like he wasn't great, but he was fine. He was serviceable. But everybody around him basically was really funny. Like,
and there were some funny cameos too, like the Impractical Jokers guy. It was just the right amount of screen time for him.
I'm gonna say another guy, and this time I'll be correct, and I won't fuck it up like I did in another review. The guy from the reboot of Mystery Science Theater 3000 is at the beginning, and he's fucking great. I didn't even know he was like an actor.
Yeah, cute little cameo from him. Like, again, the cameos were I think this is a good movie for a cameo. Seeing someone you recognize getting killed is fun and funny.
I mean, the main killer is basically an extended cameo because they got the guy who played Jason. So the movie is so self-aware of like who their crowd is, who the audience is. Just to bring up the intro very quickly, because I do think it's worth calling out. It's a fucking good intro. It actually reminded me a lot of how, because we saw Heretic not too long ago. It has such an effective opening, and it sets this tone of like, oh, it's funny. It's gonna be funny, and it's like we don't need to be super on edge the whole time because like we're going for a certain vibe here. And this movie has it's not the same thing, but it's just such a fucking ridiculous funny opening, and right away it's like, oh, I'm so geared to this project or whatever. And and then the film continues it on. It never loses your love. It doesn't betray your trust. It's not like the movie all of a sudden just stops being funny and stops being whatever.
It's so true. It made a promise. It made a kind of like a thesis right at the beginning, and then carried that out through the film. And then right when it ended, I'm like, I was just happy that it ended there, because I could see another filmmaker that didn't have as much of a vision or self-awareness would have carried it on, and it would have been like them getting
tried to wrap it up, and it's like
try to squeeze a few more jokes in there. It's like, no, we didn't need that.
No,
the story was finished. He's the whole. We
get it. No, it was great.
We see that final like bloody pulp that happens, and you're like, cool. There's closure there.
Yeah.
We can end, and it did.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, we're gonna bring out the wheel arbitrarily for one last time because it's fun to spin it.
Yes. And on the last episode, what movie will we get for the final? Not last episode. Final movie. Final review.
What will the wheel hit? Okay. And we spin the wheel.
I wonder.
Oh,
is it going to be the void? The void?
So nervous.
The void? The void or the void?
And I don't even need to look, I don't think. We will be on the next episode of the Infernal Archive. We'll be watching The Void from 2012. Thanks so much for tuning in, Children of the Night, and we will catch you on the next episode.